Hey everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Whatever you're doing, whoever you're doing it with, and whatever reason you have for doing it in the first place, and however many times you're going to do it, welcome. Welcome to Legal Vices, that's me. Welcome to the reflection of my glasses because of the angle here. Again, I really wish StreamYard would have a dark mode that I could engage on my tablet so we didn't have all this reflection stuff going on. Well, thank you, Lady Magdalena. I'm pretty much over the cold now. Just a little sniffle, a little bit of a runny nose, but we're doing pretty good. Still a little congested. Grant Rush, I wonder if Jeff tried to get onto the Skinwalker Ranch. No, Skinwalker Ranch is too far out of the way to get to this time. This is just going to be a chill, no pressure, no hype, no running around Utah vacation, just chilling. So today we got a couple of topics to cover. Snow White again, and Alec Baldwin is back in the news. So thus the title, Snow White and the Gunman. Oh, but first, hey Deanna, what's up? Missed you too. Esprit flag, Jeff going through withdrawals. What am I going through withdrawals for? Whatever. Not sure what I'm going through withdrawals for, but whatevs. Right. Well, let's see. Start things off. This is one of the new hats I picked up at Miller Hats when I was there with Aussie Overlord. Can you sneeze on me a couple of times so I can go on sick leave? Yeah, be nice. I just, yeah. Have you seen any Utah loin fire yet? No. I'm trying to think of the order to do these stories in. If we should do get Alec Baldwin out of the way first, and then just go into Snow White, or go the other way. I think we'll just do Alec Baldwin first, just because it's shorter and it's stupider. Yeah, I do sound a lot better. I feel a lot better, but there's still a little bit of congestion back, the upper sinuses here in the throat. So my voice is a little higher than I like it. Amazing Disgrace. They have a hat that fits Hayden's head. Hayden's head is actually a size smaller than mine. Poor Kurt had his hat in a trunk and it wilted. Kurt has a big head. Kurt's head is much larger than mine. Like shockingly, he has a shockingly big head. But anyway, this is one of the new hats we picked up at Miller Hats with Aussie Overlord. When I get back to Korea, I'm going to put a new hat band on it. This is just the temporary band it came with. All right, folks. Reshaping a hat sucks. Sorry, Kurt. But see what happened is this is mostly just starch, and so it gets hot and things, and then things get icky, and Aussie's head is one size smaller than mine, and yes, Drex does have a tiny head. All right. Here I am. It is 12:36 here in Utah. I'm enjoying my ginseng green tea for lunch. All right, let's do a quick little update on what's coming up. Again, Friday we'll be doing 5 p.m. to 6:37ish. We'll be doing a joint online stream with Danny on over at her place, and then we'll do a meetup probably at Lake Effect in Salt Lake City from 7-ish to 9-ish. And then on Saturday, it's all depending on Danny's schedule. We'll be doing a meetup at Peach City in Brigham City, Utah on Saturday. We don't know if it's going to be Saturday around 1 or 2 p.m. or if it's going to be around 7 or 8 p.m. Depends on what her schedule is. She's still trying to work that out, but we'll let you know. But if you are in the Salt Lake area and you want to come and hang out on Friday evening around 7 o'clock at Lake Effect, please do. All right. Now, see, I'm on a tablet, so I can't bring up and share news articles. So what I have to do is I have to read the article from my phone. Are the mountains capped with snow near Salt Lake City? I came in the middle of the night, so I don't know. They're not up here. Patrick Hempkin, you can choose a bunch of hat bands to go with it. I like this. This was the one that it came with, but just on the shelf. But I also got another one that I really like that I'll put on. But when you order a hat from Miller Hat, you get to choose what hat band you want to have on it, and they'll make it for you. make up the article. No, sometimes truth is stranger than fiction, and I'm having a lot of fun because I'm getting attacked on Twitter. I'm getting attacked on Twitter because of the Amber Heard, fanatics they're roasting me on Twitter because yesterday my niece's dog. It's still funny. It's not funny that it happened, but the situation and the context and the reference is funny. My niece's dog stepped on a bee, and when she told us that, I laughed for just 20 minutes solid. And I posted the rhetorical question on Twitter: is it wrong to laugh for 20 minutes when your niece's dog steps on a bee? And boy, the amber stands are coming out in force. Holy crap. Yeah, so that happened yesterday. Poor little dog, though. One paw is like 3 times the size of the other paw, but yeah. So it actually does happen, apparently. Yeah, dog stepped on a bee. No, Kitty, the correct answer is yes, it's okay to... Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. It's not wrong. It is... And that's what a lot of these amber stands have problems doing. Differentiating between the actual fact of the dog being injured and just the silliness of the situation. They can't separate the situational humor from the actual incident itself. Yeah, so they're lighting me up. Yeah, so that's kind of fun. Yeah, the amber stands don't have a lot of humor. I still laugh thinking about it. Like, poor little dog, his paw got treated and everything's okay, but just the fact that, wow, someone actually said my dog stepped on a bee was just hilarious. Well, see, Rose, this was the opposite. It was all long over and done by the time we learned about it. It was okay after it happened, after it had been treated. Then she called to say that her dog stepped on a bee, and his dog is okay. So then it became really funny. Anyway, didn't mean to get off on that tangent though. The drink of the day is ginger green tea. I'm sorry, ginseng green tea. No, that's the drink of the day. Right. Well, we got 159 people here. Let's do the little background stuff. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff. I think we lost just a little over 100 subscribers since Ship Business quit, which was great because we gained like 18,000. So 100 doesn't bother me, but we seem to have bottomed down. We went up a little bit today. So keep that going. Keep the subscribers coming in. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you have subscribed, please double check to make sure you're still subscribed. That would be awesome. And I don't know how many likes we have, but hit that like button. Right. Welcome to everyone that's here. I'm feeling much better, feeling great. And we are, let's jump into Alec Baldwin here. I'm going to have to open the article on my phone. Well, it's all right. Let me connect to the Wi-Fi in this room. So there we go. So it opens faster. It was open. There we go. Now this article, you can't see it here. There we go. Charges against Alec Baldwin could be refiled as forensic report shows trigger on gun used in Rush shooting had to be pulled. Okay, so this is from CNN Entertainment. Charges against Alec Baldwin could be refiled as the forensic report shows the trigger on the gun used in Rush shooting had to be pulled. Well, okay, the FBI report previously said exactly the same thing. So let's see what the difference is between now and then. So if you remember, the charges were filed, and then they were later dropped because of the assertion that the weapon had been manipulated, had been somehow tampered with in such a way that it would fire without pulling the trigger. And they dismissed the charges against Baldwin and said that they could possibly refile later if additional evidence came. Well, maybe this is it. We'll just have to see. Independent testing on the weapon used in the fatal 2021 shooting on the set of the film Rust shows the trigger had to be pulled. Okay, the gun fired normally and it did not malfunction, according to a report filed in court, raising the possibility charges could be refiled against actor Alec Baldwin. Don't hold your breath. I don't think they should have been dismissed in the first place, but don't hold your breath about them being refiled again. The fired evidence cartridge is the consequence of a normal hammer fall from a fully cocked position of the hammer, the report compiled by the Forensic Science Service of Arizona states. The report was filed as part of a defense motion on behalf of the film's armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, who is charged with tampering with the gun used in shooting, as well as 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Baldwin has maintained he pulled back the gun's hammer as far as he could without cocking the gun and released the hammer, but did not pull the trigger. Now, see, again, the way this weapon is set up is if you pull it back 25% of it, there's a quarter cock. If you pull it back a quarter of the way to full, it has like a little locking bar that locks into place. So even if it's pulled back a quarter of the way, the hammer won't drop. It has a quarter cock, a half cock, and a full cock. How many times can I say cock in one time? How many times can I say cock in one sentence? So there's quarter cock, half cock, and full cock. So he was saying he pulled it back as far as he could. So in other words, he was saying he pulled it back less than 25%. That is a very, very small margin. So I don't believe that at all. Nobody else does matter. Baldwin was maintained he pulled back that gun's hammer as far as he could without cocking the gun and released the hammer, but did not pull the trigger. CNN calls to him for comment on the report were not immediately returned. Oh, he's not returning comments. Surprise. He hasn't stopped talking about this. The October 2021 shooting on a New Mexico film set killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins and injured director Joel Souza. They were struck by a live round of ammunition fired from a prop gun held by Baldwin while rehearsing a scene, officials have said. The new testing by examiners in New Mexico was conducted using a replacement hammer, trigger sear, and bolt, according to their report, rather than the gun's original components. The weapon, broken during testing run by the FBI and inoperable when Forensic Science Services got it, then was returned to operable condition. So they're saying that the FBI broke the weapon during testing. Well, what that means, and if you read the FBI report, which we did way back in the dark ages, if you go back and watch that stream, the FBI tried so hard to replicate what Alec Baldwin said happened that they actually broke the gun trying to get it to do what Alec Baldwin said it would do. And it didn't, obviously. So yeah, they tried so hard to get it to fire without pulling the trigger that it broke. So these guys, they returned it to operable condition and ran these tests. Involuntary manslaughter charges against Baldwin lodged in January were dismissed in April when special prosecutors Karen Morrissey and Jason Lewis said charges could be refiled. The final decision has not been made, Morrissey told CNN on Wednesday. Alec had problems with his cock. Nice. That's good. The charges against Alec Baldwin were dismissed without prejudice because a possible malfunction of the gun significantly affects causation with regard to Baldwin, not with regard to Gutierrez. If it's determined that the gun did not malfunction, charges against Mr. Baldwin will proceed, with a final charging decision within the next 60 days, prosecutors said in a June court filing. So they don't have much longer to decide if they're going to refile charges. If a new charge is filed against Baldwin, the actor's defense team likely would focus on the structural integrity of the gun at the time of the shooting. Although Alec Baldwin repeatedly denies pulling the trigger, given the tests, findings, and observations reported here, the trigger had to be pulled or depressed sufficiently to release the fully cocked or retracted hammer of the evidence revolver, the report states. So again, the FBI said it, And now this independent testing has said there is no way that that weapon would have fired unless Alec Baldwin cocked it and then pulled the trigger. If the hammer had not been fully retracted to the rear and were to slip from the handler's thumb without the trigger depressed, the half-cock or quarter-cock notches in the hammer would have prevented the firing pin from reaching any cartridge in the firing chamber it read. So that's what I was saying. If you pull it back past a quarter and you let it go, it'll get caught on the quarter bar. If you pull it back more than halfway and let it go, it'll get caught on the half-cock bar. And the hammer will not strike the cartridge. It is impossible. And from an examination of the fired cartridge case and the operationally restored evidence revolver, this fatal incident was the consequence of the hammer being manually retracted to its fully rearward and cocked position, followed at some point by the pull or rearward depression of the trigger, the report said. That report, independent report, is just flat out saying he pulled it back to full cock and he pulled the trigger. The only conceivable alternative to which the foregoing would be a situation in which the trigger was already pulled or held rearward while retracting the hammer to its fully cocked position, although unlikely and totally contrary to the normal operation of these single-action revolvers. Such improper handling would result in the discharge of a live cartridge, it added. Investigators have not determined how or why live rounds were on the set of the movie. So there we are. That's the Baldwin story. That's the Baldwin deal. They did this test. It is independent test, which essentially reached the same results that the FBI report found. The gun was operational, the gun was in good condition, and it could not have misfired. It could not have fired the way that Alec Baldwin said it did. Just that scenario could not have happened. So what do you guys think? Are they going to refile these charges? I think the prosecution is scared. I think the prosecutors are scared because he's got big money. Oh, look at Ms. K. Grift bringing in the old Baldwin stream. Yeah, is that the one where we looked at the FBI report? If it is, cool. I'm doing the show from the third-story bedroom in my sister's house in Logan, Utah. On my vacation. Alan, who's been a member of 10 months, says, I'm still here. Love you, Jeff. Mods in chat. Well, we're glad you're still here, Alan. Thank you so much for being here, Alan. It's good to have you. Super mod, Alan, 69. Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate it. Let's see. Reading through the chats here. Okay, so a lot of you are very, very skeptical, and so am I. I mean, I don't know why they dismissed the charges in the first place. The only thing I can think of is that, well, I can think of a lot of things. Let's put it that way. I just think they're scared. I think the prosecution is scared, and they think they don't have enough evidence. But I would like to think that a rational, right-thinking jury would be able to look at the evidence and go, yes, the guy who is the very last person to touch that weapon, who has an extensive history of handling firearms in movies over the last 40 years, whose father was a firearms instructor. Many of you might not know that. Alec Baldwin's father was a high school shooting coach. He was such a firearms expert that he essentially died of lead poisoning. Alec Baldwin's father was such a gun enthusiast and shooting coach that he basically died of lead poisoning. So this is the atmosphere he grew up in. He's been in movies for 40 years where he's done shooting, he's shot firearms, and I would like to think this jury, okay, with his background, he was the very last person to touch this weapon that the FBI and this independent report has shown could not have fired unless he pulled the trigger, unless he cocked it and pulled the trigger. I would like to think a jury could do that. But I don't know. This isn't, New Mexico isn't a giant budget state like New York or California. They don't have the money that, say, the Los Angeles prosecutor's office or the New York City prosecutor's office would have. So I don't know. Maybe they're concerned about budgetary things. They just want to get the win. They're going after the weakest one of the group, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, who should be punished. I mean, she was at fault, but to let him off, the guy who literally cocked a weapon, pointed it at two human beings, and pulled the trigger, not being held at least responsible for negligent manslaughter, is astoundingly ridiculous to me. It literally makes zero sense. I don't know. Big Shandy Graham Yellow Rock says going after the lone or the weakest seems to be in the DNA of living beings. Well, you go for the easiest target. You go after even the animals. Yeah, they go after the sick and the weak because they're the easiest targets. They're the weakest. Same with the humans. Go after the one that can't fight back as well. So that's the Alec Baldwin story. What do you guys think here? Let me know what you're thinking. We'll read some of your comments here. This is kind of a comment-heavy story because I can't bring up the articles and we can't do these things. Hey, Valhalla, what's up, buddy? Driving. Cool. I'm just sitting here. I got a little bit of a sniffle still, but we're good. All right, peeps. I don't think they'll refile. Yeah, I'm a princess. Thinks they won't refile. Hard to think a regular person would get the similar treatment. Hannah Gutierrez-Reed is a regular. She is a regular person. So you're seeing what a regular person would get. Yeah, if it was you or me that pulled a gun, that pointed a gun at someone, we'd be in jail already. There's no question about that. It sucks, but I don't see much hope for it at this point. It says read by nature. Baldwin's lawyers would spend money using the Chewbacca defense. They only need one juror. Well, that's true, but I think that's what I was worrying about a second ago. I think they at least have to show that they're taking this seriously. Add some honey and peppermint to some warm whiskey. No, we're just doing NyQuil and just having some tea. Actually, I haven't had anything to drink since Saturday. It's not a thing. I was gonna have some tequila last night, but we decided to save margaritas for Saturday. So, yeah. Okay, well, seems like the majority opinion here is that it doesn't look good as far as either refiling or getting a conviction. What's up, American Dreamer? Good to see you. Right. Well, with that out of the way, let's see. No super chats to get through, no monthly membership chats to get through here. So, I guess we can move on to the next topic. Oh yeah, and speaking of super chats, I don't know if we're gonna get an F at Friday in this month or not, because there's only one more Friday, and that's the Friday right after I get back. I really have to decide if we're gonna do an F at Friday a week from this coming Friday. I don't know how I'm gonna feel. We might do a mini F at Friday, because I'll still be pretty jet lagged, I think. Let's count on that. Let's make the decision right now. Let's say that was it 25th. Is that what day it is? No, yes, the 25th, Friday the 25th. Let's say Friday the 25th. We will do an F at Friday, like a mini F at Friday, at least a mini F at Friday. We'll see what happens when you get down to it. So there you go. Let's do that. Why not? In the meantime, feel free to send them super chats in and whatnot. I'm not grifting. I'm just mentioning. All right. We talked a little bit about Snow White yesterday. This thing isn't going away. This movie's not coming out till 2024, and they're already burning it to the ground, as we were talking about. Oh, Rose, member for 11 months. What's up, Rose? Here you go, Jeff. Have a great vacation. Thank you so much for that that monthly membership chat. Have a great vacation. Vice Squad and Lorax rules. Hit the thumbs up. I guess that's the like, subscribe, and have fun. Well, thank you so much. Well, look. You see, Eric Fulm is saying snow not so white anymore. Look, I want to talk about that a little bit. I mean, just briefly. I mean, the whole idea is her skin is so white and delicate. It's snow white. It's literally there in the description. But see, if you wanted to have something like, just if you want to do it like obsidian black or or black pearl or something, then have the darkest, blackest character you want. If there's something else you want to do with brown, it's just weird. I mean, that's all I'm gonna. I don't really care. Yellow Vice, Frank Zappa's yellow snow. Watch out where the Huskies go. Don't you eat that yellow snow. No, Nanook, no. Great song, by the way. I don't care. I really don't care that she's not a shockingly white Caucasian woman playing Snow White. That is the absolute least of my concerns. Excuse me. First cough of the day. Yeah, I really don't care about that. As I said, in the whole grand scheme of things, that is the least of the problems. Snow White is a German story. Most Germans are white. It's called Snow White. It's not called moderately white or pasty white or pink. It's called Snow White. But anyway, I don't care that the actress who's playing Snow White is not Caucasian. I really don't care. It's annoying, but I don't, because there's so many other things wrong with this. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. So before we jump into that, let's get into Alan, $69, $20. Hey, thank you so much. Ha 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 ha. Here's one. There you go, Jeff. Well, thank you, Alan. I appreciate that. Here's something for the throat lube. Yeah. Well, we might have a drinky poo or two tonight. But yeah, that's for now. It's only 1 o'clock. Thank you so much for that. For those of you asking, the dogs are doing awesome. I check up on them with a camera. They have a CCTV there in the room where they spend 99.9% of their time. So I'm watching them. They're being taken care of. All right, Snow White. Oh God, let's see. We'll start with this Cosmopolitan article. If it comes up, I hope it comes up. There we go. Now, the one thing, and this isn't just limited to Snow White. This is Disney. This encompasses all of Disney. Disney is literally destroying every single franchise they get their hands on, and they're calling it a win. I don't get it. What they've done to Star Wars is, there was so much promise when they got into Star Wars. Now look what they've done to it. And look what they've done to everything else they've put their stupid little hands on. Disney is just trying to destroy. I don't get why they're trying to burn their own business to the ground. Anyway, I was trying to think of ways to say that without swearing. All right, so the one thing I think we can all agree on, and it's shockingly interesting, is that everybody hates Snow White. Everybody hates this Snow White idea. The entire internet seems to be unified around hating Snow White for one reason or another. The reasons for hating it might not align, but I haven't yet read a single article or heard a single person other than the actress say, this is a really good thing. We love it and we can't wait for it to come out. I haven't seen one report like that yet. Okay, this is an article from Cosmopolitan. 5 years ago, the name Rachel Zegler would likely have meant very little to you. It still does, actually. A theater kid turned international movie star, Zegler was still a regular person when she was cast in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story in 2018. Must admit, didn't see West Side Story because I liked the original, and I didn't think it needed to be remade, so I didn't watch it. Fast forward to 2023, and she's officially established herself as one of Hollywood's most in-demand leading actors, appearing in the superhero film Shazam! Fury of the Gods, alongside Helen Mirren. Excuse me. To put this woman's name in the same sentence as Dame Helen Mirren, please, how dare you? How dare you?
How dare you?
I mean, seriously. Appearing in the superhero film Shazam! Fury of the Gods alongside Helen Mirren. I haven't seen Shazam! Fury of the Gods because it looks stupid. That's why I didn't see it. I'm tempted because Helen Mirren's in it, and I've loved Helen Mirren since Excalibur came out, way back about 6,000 years ago. But oh my God, to actually put her and Helen Mirren in the same sentence, yeah. As well as being cast in the new Paddington and Hunger Games films. Yes, she's going to be starring in the Hunger Games prequels, apparently. Please answer the questions above to reveal the rest of the article. Oh my God. What is the question we have to answer? Is the U.S. heading in the right or wrong direction? Well, clearly it's headed in the wrong direction. Will it let us continue to read the article? Oh, yes, it does. Cool. All right. JKD Buck 76, member for 6 months. Says, thanks for all you do, Jeff. Oh, well, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being here. This is the greatest channel on YouTube. Oh. Second, I hate Darthleen Kennedy, ruin John Suck, and Jar Jar Abrams. Fudge him. Wow, that was opinionated, but I can't. It's really just. I like J.J. Abrams. I don't know why, but I do. Most recently, Zegler has garnered attention for comments she.
When am I not crying?
Shut up.
Public. It's so upsetting.
Come on, Cosmo, work on your web. Just for the record, this is the very first time I've ever been on Cosmo's website. Most recently, Zegler has garnered attention for comments she made regarding her titular role. Titular. I'm sorry, that was like the most childish thing I've ever said. I wish you could see like all the anime shit my brother has around this room. Anyway, it's garnered attention for comments she made regarding her titular role in the remake of Snow White, set to be released next year. It's no longer 1937, obviously, as she said. Zegler said in a video interview with Variety reporter, she's Snow White, not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and that leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. So it's just a really incredible story for young people everywhere to see themselves in. So, again, she's taking a pot shot. Where it's no longer 1937, clearly, obviously, or whatever the fuck it was she said. Again, the importance of the original Snow White in film history is incomparable. It was the very first full-length feature animated movie ever in the history of mankind. It has stood up for nearly 100 years across generations, cultures, languages, because it is a special, special story. It's a special, special product. And here's this 21, 22-year-old girl just shitting on it. And she even said, I only watched it once and I didn't like it or some stupid crap like that. So she's like, okay, it's not 1937 anymore. What's wrong with looking for love? I mean, what's wrong with being loved? What's wrong with wanting to be happy? What's wrong? You can be a happy, powerful woman without being a raging, man-hating feminist. But Disney can't seem to see that. And somehow in this twisted vision of how to be inclusive, they're actually becoming the most exclusive group of people on planet Earth. But she said the ride scared her. There was a ride at Disneyland called Snow White's Scary Adventures. She said that scared her. All right, so she's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be. What? So what? Can't she do that with a husband? Can't she do that with a man? Can't she, can't she do that as a queen? If she marries the prince, he becomes king. She becomes the queen. That's a powerful woman, but apparently not. So it's just a really incredible story for young people everywhere to see in themselves. Yeah, hate dreaming, hate love. Ugh. I mean, what a stupid thing. And again, I don't think she's, well, I don't know. What do you guys think? Half of my brain says she's just a stupid kid that is just regurgitating the lines that the Disney studio told her to say. She's just a spouting party line so that on her press junket so that she gets more roles. But the other half of my brain says no, she's just really stupid and unlikable. That she actually believes this shit she's saying. And we're going to look at that a little bit later, because shockingly, she has comments. Yeah, shockingly, she's. Here's a spoiler alert for you. Oh, Chandler says that's the kind of thing I would have said at 22, and you grew up. But shockingly, she's playing the out of context card, which we'll get to in a bit. But the internet is, well, the internet, it didn't take long for the responses to roll in, and the sentiments were widely divided. Some claim Zegler's mission to portray Snow White as a woman uninterested in love was crucially anti-feminist. That's an interesting position. That portraying someone as a woman who's uninterested in love is anti-feminist, resting on outdated tropes that curtail a woman's right to determine her own destiny. Whatever that may be. That's a very interesting thing. Some are saying it's anti-feminist. Even the feminists are saying it's anti-feminist because you're taking away Snow White's right to choose what she wants to do. If she wants to be the stay-home mom, she wants to be the powerful woman, whatever. No, see, JKD Buck, you're missing the point there. What they're saying is the feminists are saying it's anti-feminist because they're taking away her right to choose love. They're taking away her right to do whatever she wants to do. Some person I've never heard of before says, I could write a PhD thesis on the pseudo-feminism that is criticizing Disney princesses. Criticizing Disney princesses is not feminist. Not every woman is a leader. Not every woman wants to be a leader. Not every woman wants or craves power, and that's okay. It is not anti-feminist to want to fall in love, to want to get married, and to want to stay at home, to be soft, to want to be a homemaker. None of these things make you less valuable as a person or a woman. I like that comment. And that's coming from a feminist. They're saying, oh, yeah, the original 1937 Snow White is so anti-feminist. Because, she was just looking for love. She's looking to rely on a prince. She's waiting for, literally Prince Charming to sweep her off her feet and to give her this life and she can stay home and be this. They're saying that's anti-feminist because it's showing her weak and needy. But you have a feminist saying, no, there's nothing anti-feminist about wanting to fall in love and be a homemaker. So the feminists are out for this movie as well. Is Snow White the one that gets woken up by being kissed by a prince? Yes. She eats the witch's poison apple, and she falls into a slumber, and Prince Charming comes and kisses her and arouses her from her sleep. But of course, the actress here has said that Prince Charming is going to essentially be a stalker, someone who is stalking her. And she was even bragging about how there's an actor who plays the prince, and he only has a very, very small part in the movie, and it's possible that all of his scenes could end up on the cutting room floor. And she said something flippant like, "That's Hollywood, baby," or something like that. So yeah, she was bragging about how the prince has only a very few lines, and how they might all end up on the cutting room floor anyway. Dear. Where am I at here? Let's see if we can hear this stupid TikTok thing. No, never mind. Not gonna do that. The criticism of Disney princesses is always based on one of two things: criticizing women for things men get to do unquestioned, or writing off a woman entirely because she is or wants to fall in love. That's interesting. The criticism of Disney princesses is always one of two things: women, for criticizing them for doing things that men can do without being criticized for, and for being in love or wanting to fall in love. Real feminism is about depicting women who have different wants and different needs and different personalities, who come from different races and ethnicities, and depicting them as equally valuable, with something to offer and something to say and a voice that should be heard. Well, that's very progressive for a feminist to say, I think. So again, I mean, you're seeing this. Literally everybody is coming out against this movie. And I think it's hilarious. The comments underneath the video are largely supportive, with many people quoting the infamous Little Woman line spoken by the character Meg March: "Just because my dreams are different than yours doesn't mean they're unimportant." Okay. Others found that her statements further pigeonholed women into only having value when they ascribe to one form of womanhood. What doesn't fit into my brain is, why does a woman need to somehow be proactive, extraordinary, have this incredible, successful career in order to be appreciated and in order to be considered a protagonist? Asks TikTok creator Shikalord. Good point. Not everyone, even in man's world, not every man is a leader. Not every man has a successful career. Not every man is extraordinary. That doesn't make them less of a man. And the same should be for women. Not every woman has to be a CEO. Not every woman has to be a princess. Not every woman has to do something extraordinary to be valued as a woman. But Disney would have you think otherwise. In my mind, this is the author here, Zegler's words were lazy, misguided, and, as she is often accused of being, trite. She literally is quickly becoming one of the most hated people in Hollywood. There is so much backlash against her that I think it would kind of suck if she destroyed her career at 21 or 22, however old she is, just because she's being this trite, glib thing. Well, I like the cut of your jib too, Chandler. That's what my torts professor would always say, Tommy Torts. I like the cut of your jib. The conversation she sparked about the innate right of women to choose who they want to be and how they want to exist in the world are a powerful reminder of how much has changed since the original Snow White movie was released in 1937. The vitriol directed towards her, one person, is not okay. Well, there's where we differ. her message, this message of women can do whatever they want, which includes being a stay-at-home mom, being a mid-level corporate person, doing whatever the hell you want. It includes that. Doing whatever you want includes those things, which traditional feminists would say is anathema. But this whole idea that we can't criticize her for this, sorry, I don't believe that. Because she is the one saying it. These stupid words are coming out of her stupid lips. She's the one that's putting us out there on TV. She's the one that's saying these really immature, ridiculous things. So I believe we are absolutely correct or absolutely within our rights to criticize her for saying them. Besides this, the film is further mired in controversy for the choice to recast the seven dwarves as seven mythical creatures. Brown, White, and the seven mythical creatures. Well, Snow, Brown, and the seven mythical creatures. That doesn't sound really great, does it? Chandler Remington asked, "What is a woman?" I don't know, Chandler. I'm not a biologist. Fuck off. Just kidding, Chandler. I love you. You know what I mean. That F off was just me being silly. You know that. Why don't they just write an original story then? Because they can't. Because they can't. They can't write original stories. That's why everything is going back to remakes, rebooting, reimaginations. We're just regurgitating old stuff. That's why. Nobody in Hollywood has an original freaking idea anymore. And it's disgusting. It's lazy, lazy, lazy. To take someone else's work and to tweak a few things is just sheer laziness. It's stupid. And I've always hated it. I've never liked this re-imaging stuff. Okay, besides this, the film's further mired in controversy for the choice to recast the seven dwarves as seven mythical creatures. Creator and little person Gabby D shared her thoughts in a viral video on TikTok. Although Snow White, that whole film, is not the best representation for little people, it still has little people in it. The fact that you're taking them out and replacing them with average-sized people, i.e. erasing them from the media in general, is not okay with me. If you're going to cast little people in these roles, make them multidimensional. Do not make them just one thing. That's what they were known for. They were given names that were only allowed to be one trait, and that is not what little person is. So if you're going to hire little people, which you should, because these roles were meant for us and made for us, give them main character energy. Allow them to explore these characters. In other Disney remakes, we've explored things that haven't been explored before, Gabby continued. She's got the point. That's the point. You say that you want to be inclusive. You say you want to be diverse. Well, unless it's in a way that you don't want it to be. So, okay, this would be the perfect, as this Gabby D person says, this would be the perfect opportunity for Disney to come in and cast seven little people as the dwarves and have them be these major characters. Have them be, as she said, main characters. He or she said main character energies. Not one-dimensional characters, but be real people. No dwarf-tossing jokes. And, just have them presented as if they were normal people that just happen to be a little small. Chandler says, read my comment above. There are a ton of promising writers in Hollywood who have amazing original scripts right now that the world will never see. Okay, I guess I should rephrase that. There are lots of people that have amazing original ideas, but the mainstream media moguls will not allow them to be made. I guess I should say that. Thank you, Chandler. That's the correct answer. And as at the Anime Matsuri, when we were at the Friday Night Tights panel on Sunday afternoon, Lila, who is a little person, was making the same things. Like, you're literally stealing our fucking roles. There's so few roles that are written legitimately for little people. And like, you just take away the primary seven of them. Well, let's Gabby D continues here. The whole thing is just very near and dear to my heart because for the longest while, that was the only representation I had. It's not great. So now that we have a chance to fix it, now that we're having the chance to remake it in the right way, allow us to tell our stories, bring little people to set, cast little people, allow us to tell you things, and maybe we can dive into dwarfism and what it's like in this film so that kids can see it from a young age. That's beautiful. Why not do that, Disney? Why give like one little person and then a bunch of other fucking weirdos and misfits? Why do that? Why literally say we're doing this to be diverse and inclusive, and yet you take away an incredibly underrepresented section of not only Hollywood, but the entire world, and you say, okay, there's basically the Munchkins and the Wizard of Oz, the Oompa Loompas, and the Seven Dwarves. I think that would be like your top three, I think, little people roles that were exclusively and purposely written for little people. What did we do with the Willy Wonka remake? One dude that just did every role. Instead of casting 100 little people, we cast one dude. The Wizard of Oz, just don't fucking touch the Wizard of Oz. Every couple of years there comes a story about about remaking the Wizard of Oz. Don't fucking do it. Willow. Okay, yeah, Willow. Good. Yeah, Willow is there. Willow's another good one. But I wouldn't say Willow was like the top three history things. But yeah, this is the opportunity to be inclusive, to show this diversity, to be, oh my God. And then they literally say, okay, let's just rip these roles out from under the people that we're giving lip service to. It's only lip service. Don't think Hollywood loves you. Even you feminists, even the LGBTQ community. Don't think for a second Hollywood loves you. Once the tide shifts, Hollywood is going to leave you behind. And that's going to be it. It'll be on to the next one, and you'll be left out holding your little milk pail, waiting for someone to help you. And it's not going to happen. Well, as many predict its flop, we wait to see if the live-action remake of Snow White will outlast its controversy, or, at the very least, give critics more to chew on. It will begin showing in cinemas on 22 March 2024. Well, the last thing we want to do in this is she's, as I mentioned a minute ago, I don't know how this is going to work. We're going to do our best to figure something out here. Because again, like I said, I can't bring this up, so I think we just might have to do the audio, and I hope you'll be able to hear it. Because this amazing backlash. She's been calling Prince Charming a stalker, saying the original movie sucked. She didn't like it. She only watched it once. No girls like it. There was a scary ride at Disneyland. She's basically shitting on the original, saying, and she's not even saying ours is so much better. She's shitting on the original. She's shitting on men. As what we just talked about it a minute ago. Prince Charming is going to be a stalker, and he's got a very small part in the film, and he might even all end up on the cutting room floor. Well, she's just been getting beat about the head and shoulders with this for a couple of weeks now, and she's made a statement, and she gets a little bit weepy here. She gets a little bit teary-eyed, and yes, she breaks out the age-old "I've been taken out of context" arguments. Yeah, all of this, he's a stalker. It's a crappy film. It doesn't represent things. It's scary rides. We don't need men. It's not a love story. Oh, it's all just out of context. So I'm going to play. I have the audio up on my phone. I'm going to play this right next to the microphone, and let's see if you guys can hear this.
Is going to get taken out of context, and I know that at this point I can't really stop people from doing that because.
Could you hear that? She was saying that everything she said had been taken out of context, and she can't really stop people from doing that. Just let me know if you could hear that clearly. Takes a minute for you to catch up to me. Got about a 20-second delay, so just waiting for you to let me know if you can hear it. Can you hear it? Okay, you guys can hear it. That's good. Thank you, Obama Jr., for bringing that to the front here. All right. So let's get. This is about 2 minutes long. Let's listen to her explain herself, because it's already, you're taking my stuff out of context, and there's nothing I can do about it.
That's what my whole existence on the internet is, just me being taken out of context. And
that's her whole existence on the internet, is being taken out of context. So literally anything, everything she ever says, everything you ever hear tweeted, quoted, reposted, or whatever on the internet, it's just all being taken out of context. That is literally my entire world is being taken out of context. So nothing she's ever said, nobody's ever quoted her in context. I'm a stupid bitch. Nothing she's ever said has ever been taken in context.
Stuff, which is fine. That's what I signed up for, isn't it? But I never wanted to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have.
Oh yeah, so she can't deny her privilege. That would be wrong. So I'm not ungrateful. I just hate the source material. That's what she's saying. Okay, she cannot make this come off as if she's not aware of her privilege. So yeah, she's grateful for the privilege, but
when I say that this has been the biggest adjustment of my life, like understanding the way my life operates now, being who I am, and the things that I've been so fortunate to make, it comes with so much ground that I never thought I would be able to cover, and that people think I'm doing poorly, and other people think I'm doing gracefully, and I don't think I'm doing it at all. So when I tell you,
she's getting teary-eyed.
It's hard, I just mean to be inside my brain.
She's getting a little teary-eyed now. I'm saying it's hard to be inside my brain. Oh, that just sounds like every 21-year-old out there, doesn't it? It's just so hard to be inside my head. Well, guess what? You're going to be in your own fucking head until the day you fucking die. Get used to it. That's just an excuse. It's just so hard being inside my own brain. What's your brain? Obama Jr., I get it. I hear voices too. Oh no. So yeah, she's getting teary-eyed here. But so not only is she inside of her brain, there's no escaping it. Listen to this.
That's hard. And I'm there 24/7. I can't get out of it.
She has to live with herself 24/7. I can't get out of it. I have to live in my own head 24 hours a day, and I can't get out of it. Now, I have a question, because I haven't seen it yet. Before we continue this, who plays the Wicked Witch in this? Who plays the evil witch in this movie? Is it Gal Gadot? It seemed like it looked vaguely Gal Gadot-ish in the pictures, and some of you were just mentioning Gal Gadot. That's what I thought. Now, because yeah, that's what I just saw the picture of the Queen about 2 minutes before I started the show. I didn't see who it was, but it looked very much like Gal Gadot, so that's what I thought it was. So what we've got is this I hate commenting on people's looks, but this is the premise for this movie. The whole premise is, remember the evil old grungy witch, is jealous of Snow White's beauty. She's the most beautiful girl in the world, so therefore she gives her the poison apple and puts her to sleep forever and takes her out of the picture. I mean, Zegler would probably be a solid 4 or a 5. Maybe somebody else thinks she's hotter than that. I would put her to solid 4 or 5. Just not my type. So we're thinking that like Gal Gadot would be jealous of the way that Zegler looks. They better be putting some seriously horrific makeup on Gal Gadot to justify her being jealous of Snow White's looks. Yes, Gal Gadot is hotter, is what you're saying, and I agree. It's kind of exactly what I'm saying, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, my God, they changed the meaning of fair. No, please. Please don't even get there. I don't even want to think about that. All right, let's get back to this. Okay, everybody, enough joking. We have to get back to this serious issue of how difficult it is to be her and live inside her own head 24/7 where she can't escape. Let's play it.
And I don't know if that will make sense, but that's where I'm at. I'm so grateful for the things that I'm able to do. And a lot of what I'm able to do is because of you guys. And I'm so unbelievably thankful for that. At the end of the day, I look at this trip and think, if somewhere like that can exist, and so can my tiny pink bedroom from New Jersey, I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats. I mean,
okay, the death threat thing. She has to throw in the death threats. I clearly haven't seen all of her emails. I clearly haven't seen all of her text messages, but I am going to call bullshit on the death threat thing. So yes, she wants to be super famous, but she wants to have her little pink bedroom in New Jersey or wherever the hell it was. She wants to be somebody, but she doesn't want the death threat. I'm calling bullshit on the death threats. There's death threats and there's death threats. I mean, surprisingly or unsurprisingly, I get death threats too. That's the people. Hey, what's up, Kaiser Pineapple? Josiah popping in there. Hey, what's up, Kaiser? Yeah, I get death threats. You should die. Someone should kill you. Stop living. I get those. That's not a death threat. That's some fucking retard spurging out on the internet. That's all that. It's not a death threat. A death threat would be someone, I know where you live. Here is your address. Here is your schedule. I'm going to come and I'm going to fucking kill you. That might be more of a death threat. I don't know if she gets those. I find that hard to believe she would, because I find it incredibly difficult to believe someone would give a shit that much about Snow White or her, that they would give them very specific, targeted threats that they were going to literally take her out and put her 6 feet underground. Yeah, just someone saying, I hate you and you should stop living, or, I want to kill you, or, I'm going to kill. That's not a death threat. That's internet spurging is all that is. So, I'm calling bullshit on that unless she can actually show that there is a credible threat against her life. Someone spurging out on the internet is not a death threat. That's me. That's my point. That's my personal feeling. She might think it's different, but it's so difficult to be me, and I'm being taken out of context, and I want to be famous, but people are giving me death threats all the time. Sorry, not buying it. Here we are. Let's play some more.
And maybe that's a weird takeaway for this video.
Yeah, it is.
This is a life. This is real. It's filled with a lot of beautiful moments and beautiful people.
Now, see, what you can't see here is this apology video she's making, or not this explanatory. This explanatory. She doesn't apologize. This explanatory video of what it's like, of how difficult it is to be this privileged woman who gets to play Snow White. This video on how difficult it is. Right now, she's going to talk about people. special people in her life, and she's interspliced their videos and pictures of the people she's talking about here to humanize it more, to make you see that these people that she's talking about are real. Yeah, she's taking death threats out of context. So yeah, anytime she mentions somebody here in the next few seconds, there's a video clip or a picture of that person.
People. I have a loving family, an incredible boyfriend that I love so much, beautiful friends and family, people that I miss. It's a privilege to miss people the way that I...
What the fuck does that mean? It's a privilege to miss people? What the fuck kind of weird ass double speak is that? What does that even mean? It's a privilege to miss somebody? I mean, I'm not being facetious. I honest to God don't know what that means. It's a privilege to miss somebody. He's not a boyfriend, he's a stalker. Nice. Yeah, I don't even know what I don't even know what that means. It's a privilege to be able to miss somebody. Well, we got a few more seconds of this here.
Way that I do, but it's hard.
All right, yeah, she's crying. Well, she's Amber Herding here again. She's crying.
To miss people the way that I do, but it's hard. And it's lonely. It's very lonely. I just know that if that loneliness can exist, so can other things, and I will be okay. Maybe that's a weird takeaway. Regardless, this is not supposed to be anything other than...
And that's where this particular clip ends. Someday show business's prince will come when he's fast asleep. All right. Yeah, is this an audition tape? That's kind of what it sounded like, didn't it? It kind of sounded like that. She is so clueless. She is so tone deaf. She is, so, and I hate the word that I just hate the fact they use tone deaf, because that's the liberal word. That's the left wingers term. But I had to use it because she's literally tone deaf to the fact that she sounds stupid. She's alienating everybody with this ridiculous take after ridiculous take after ridiculous take. I mean, is there any person, black, white, straight, gay, anywhere in between, this gender, that gender, this pronoun, that pronoun, this political party, that just can honestly just say, I watched Snow White and I fucking hated it? So it was literally, I mean, so close to universally loved by every person that's ever seen it that you can say it's universally loved by every person that's seen it. And she's shitting on it. She's shitting on one of the stories that every single one of us looked at as a kid and thought, this is a great story. Why does she think people are going to be okay with this? Why does Disney think people are going to be okay with this? I don't get it, and I don't understand it. I'll give her the pass that she's 21, 22, and stupid. She's young, she's naive, she's drinking the Disney Kool-Aid. She's had all of these ideas planted in her head by social media and all this other crap. I'll give her that, but shut up about it, because it's going to bite you in the ass later. You're going to get this reputation, and it's going to ruin your Hollywood career before it even starts. And Disney's just burning it to the ground. They do it. They tell you what they think you want to, what we want to see. Here's all of your characters from your childhood, and here's what we're gonna do to them. Like, watch this well, don't watch this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's stupid as well. It's not a Disney thing, but it's just media is doing. They're taking everything you loved as a kid and destroying it. Okay, Patty Leather says Disney knows what it's doing. They want to destroy Western culture. Yes, I agree with that. They know what they're doing. They want to destroy Western culture, but Western culture does not want to be destroyed. It's fighting back, and Disney's seeing it at the box office. And this is ultimately self-destructive. where you have these things that people hold near and dear to their heart, and then you take it and you change it and you twist it, and you're going to piss the people off. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, that, are these just tax write-offs? Are these intentional fails where they're intentionally trying to drive this thing into the ground so that they can get tax write-offs? Who knows? Oh yeah, Disney would be rolling in his grave if he wasn't in a deep freeze somewhere. Disney's in cryogenic stasis right now. He's freeze-dried Walt, but if he was in a grave, he would be rolling in it. That's it. Uh-oh, Lady McDonald says the internet's about to go down in a few. We'll see you later. Well, we're going to wrap this up real quick here because it's been a little bit over an hour and kind of run out of things here to say. We're done with the topics. So if you came for these two topics, Alec Baldwin and Snow White, we're officially done with those. But we'll keep it open here a little bit more. We'll have another 15 minutes or so just to chat with each other. I'm going to go out a little bit later and do some stuff. I can't remember what time I told my son to stop by. Let me check my massages. And just a second. I think I said 45 minutes from now. I did. Okay. So we'll go another 15 minutes or so, and then I'll get ready to head out. We do have one more super chat that came in from Dina. What's up, Dina? And thank you so much for that $10 super chat. That is so, so appreciated. When are you going back to Korea? I leave here on the 21st, and I get to Korea in the evening of the 22nd, and then is back to the office on the 23rd. And we will have at least a mini F at Friday on the 25th. So bring your super chats, and I will bring my booze that I collected here in the States. I haven't actually collected any booze here in the States yet, but we're working on it. We'll take care of that over the weekend. I've only bought one bottle to take back to Korea so far, and it's such a basic bottle here, but it's unavailable in Korea. And that's Angel's Envy. Picked up a bottle of Angel's Envy bourbon to take back to Korea because you just can't get it there. I mean, it's nothing special, but I'm taking it back with me. So, all right, thank you so much for that super chat. Question: who does your sister think you're talking to right now if they don't know about your YouTube? Well, she's downstairs. I'm on the 3rd floor and she's down on the 2nd floor. So yeah, nope, I'm not talking to anybody. I think it's funny. I'm not hiding this. If she walks in the room, she's seeing me doing it. This is what's hilarious. I think it's just funny that nobody knows. Why can't they just make their own black princesses? Because Disney would have had to add the female genital mutilation scenes. Oh no, Eric. Damn it, Eric, go away. Please, penalty box, 5 minutes. Chug it, Jeff. Yeah. Whew. Chug this potent ginseng green tea. Sorry, ginger green tea. That's the Arizona ginger green tea. They sell Angel's Envy at Costco. Yeah, not in Korea. And not in Utah. Only at the liquor stores. There's only 2 bottles left, so I got one. Oh, there's crazy Jeff talking to himself again. We got him institutionalized. Eric, go. Penalty box for you. Jeff making cam girl fake orgasm sounds loudly. Ooh, ugh, yeah. Well, that was interesting. Where'd that go? Go ahead. Zegler seems a lot like Paige. They think this type of marketing works. See, yeah, I think you're right. I think they think the rest of the world is as woke as some 21-year-old kid. They don't know how the world works at that age. Even if you are an actress and you've made, I don't know, she's probably made a couple of mil at least by now. But you don't know how the world works at 21, which is why I think a lot of this shit, she's just being fed by the marketing people at Disney. And she's regurgitating it to her own detriment. Mandy K bringing the heat. Jeff's got in his room in his underwear with a bologna sandwich and a lot of mayonnaise. Well, I do have shorts on because, I'm not in my own environs. But yeah, I did have tacos for breakfast. You're not too far away. I did get caught eating tacos for breakfast because, hey, tacos. You're not too far from there, Mandy K. Zegler and people like her have never had to argue or think. They were taught what to think and how to think. That's what I'm saying. I think, and as Disney Phoenix saying, okay, this is what we want you to say when you go on these press junkets. Talk about how modern we are. Talk about how inclusive we are. Talk about how powerful women are, and shit on everything else. What percentage of people there are Mormon? Utah? I don't know. It continues to drop. What percentage of Utah is Mormon? I'm going to guess about 60%.
Sure. Here's what the internet
68.55%.
Which has the highest Mormon population.
Yes, 68.5% of Utah is Mormon. What kind of tacos? I had a soft shell taco and a flour tortilla taco. Chandler. Yep. We just covered that. No, see, this is the thing. Read by nature. I think you hit this point. Does anyone else think Brie Larson figured out this tactic doesn't work? I've seen her act almost self-aware. Maybe Zegler needs. This is one thing I wanted to mention and I forgot. She is Zegler. She's essentially becoming the next Brie Larson. I was thinking, Brie is probably thinking, "Oh my God, Zegler, thank you so freaking much. Thank you." Because it's taking the spotlight off of her and putting it on Zegler. So yeah, she's becoming the new Brie Larson. She's literally becoming the most hated person in Hollywood at the moment. Got a cough again. Hang on. Right, I'm back. She sounds. She doesn't sound fake to me. She just sounds young. And I know it's because I'm 54 freaking years old. She just sounds like a stupid kid to me. It's like, oh yes, the sweet summer child, that kind of a thing. Hernia test. Why would I need a hernia test? Oh, it's coughing? Okay. Took me a while to process that. Jeff is Jill Biden in drag. Just because I like tacos for breakfast. Not breakfast tacos. These were straight up full on tacos. They weren't breakfast tacos. Yeah, I don't do breakfast tacos. Mandy K. Jeff, you were in North Korea. Where would you drop the nuke? New York or California? Oh my God. It's like asking who your favorite child is. Probably drop it on myself so I wouldn't have to live in the world anymore. No, she speaks English fluently. Of course she does. No, she's just stupid. It's truly a privilege to miss somebody. In other words, I have friends and I get to miss them. Other people don't have friends. I'm so blessed that I have friends, and I'm so privileged that I have someone that I can miss. Where I know there's lots of other of you lessers that don't have anyone to miss because you don't have any friends. That's what she was saying. Don't nuke me. We'd never nuke you, Chandler. We'd never nuke you. Well, all right, folks. I guess we're kind of wrapping this up here. Let me make sure I got all the super chats read. Yes, when you're back in Korea, yep, we got all the super chats out of the way. Thank you so much for those, peeps. This is your last chance to get a like and a subscribe in. We had about 300 people at one point. We got 286 now. No idea how many likes there are, but hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Let's keep this rolling. And if I think of something clever and creative to talk about tomorrow, I'll do another live stream. Just kind of killing time here. If not, we'll see you on Friday. Today's Wednesday? So if I don't do something tomorrow, we'll see you Friday over on Danny On's channel. As if Friday, I'll be over at Danny On's house from about 5 to 7-ish, and then we will be at Lake Effect sometime around 7:30 to 9-ish. to do a meetup in Salt Lake City, and then Saturday at some point. Still need to wait on Danny's schedule to figure out if we're going to be doing this at Peach City and Brigham City early in the afternoon or later in the evening. We'll keep you posted. It all depends on Danny's schedule. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Just me. Sorry I missed you in Houston. Well, I'm sorry you missed me too. We had so many nice people. Met so many people. Folks, it's been fun. Snow White and the Gunman. That wraps up today. we might see you tomorrow. But I'll post some shorts because shorts are fun. That's about it. Don't have anything else. So let's call it quits. Mods, thank you so much as always for being here. Don't forget to show us your son's reaction to your fame. We'll see. Thank you, mods, for being here. Always a pleasure. Chat, you're the greatest chat in the history of the internet. The Vice Squad rules. And thank you so much for your support. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, ladies and germs, don't forget to enjoy your legal vices.